In the previous episode, all the main characters from the show boarded vans to return to the facility and risk their lives for money. The police officer Junho follows Gi-hun's van, still in search of his brother. The van stops at a harbor where several other vans are being loaded onto a ship. Junho latches onto the bottom of Gi-hun's van and boards the ship as well. After some time, the staff in red suits start inspecting the players by scanning their ears, indicating that the players have been implanted with a device. Junho hides in a van and knocks out the staff member who tries to inspect him. He changes into the man's clothes and mask. After the others leave, he puts his ID into the man's pocket and throws him into the sea. One of the staff finds Junho and asks what he is doing. The man turns out to be Junho's superior, which makes him realize that the shapes on their masks indicate their ranks. He gets out of the situation by claiming to be seasick. The ship stops at the island, and all the contestants are taken into a hall. While they are still unconscious, their clothes are changed, and their belongings are seized. Sae-byok, who is semi-conscious, manages to sneak in a pocket knife. The players wake up in the hall again. Gi-hun reunites with the old man Il-nam. Sang-woo and Ali join them as well. They decide to form a team to make it easier to win in the next round. Similarly, the gangster Deoksu is also forming his own team and asks Sae-byok to join him. She despises the man and refuses to be in his team. Their conversation is interrupted by Min-yeo, the woman who begged the staff to let her go during their previous stay. She tries to seduce Deoksu to join his team, but he insults her and leaves. Later, the staff are instructed to head back to their rooms because their work for the day is done. Junho, who has not been caught yet, goes to his assigned room and notices a surveillance camera. At night, Min-yeo creates a fuss about needing to pee and bangs on the door for the guards to let her out. They allow her to go, and Sae-byok seizes the opportunity to go out as well. It turns out Min-yeo has hidden a packet of cigarettes in her underwear and starts to smoke. Sae-byok gets into Min-yeo's stall and opens the vent on the ceiling with her knife. She climbs in to inspect the facility and ends up above the kitchen's vent. In the kitchen, a large amount of sugar is being melted. Sae-byok quickly returns before the guards can catch her. She tells Min-yeo what she saw, but they dismiss it as unimportant information. Meanwhile, Junho is still in his room, where he texts his superiors while hiding from the camera. The following day, the players are woken up and given bread and milk for breakfast. Gi-hun and his team enjoy it together while talking. They are starting to bond, especially Il-nam and Gi-hun, who reminisce about their past. Ali is kind to all of them, while Sang-woo seems to be void of emotions. As they talk, an announcement tells them it is time for the next game. On their way outside, Sang-woo asks Sae-byok what she saw yesterday. It turns out he overheard her and Min-yeo talking last night. Sae-byok tells him that the staff was melting sugar. When they reach outside, Sang-woo sees several shapes drawn on the wall and realizes they are playing an old Korean game where they have to break a sugar honeycomb snack into a specific shape. However, he doesn't tell his teammates and chooses the easiest shape for himself. Gi-hun chooses the shape of an umbrella, which is the hardest one, but Sang-woo still doesn't warn him. They are given the honeycomb, and Gi-hun realizes he is in trouble. There is no way he can perfectly cut out the shape of an umbrella. Sang-woo and Sae-byok receive a triangle. Ali gets a circle while Il-nam, Deoksu, and Min-yeo get a star. The game starts, and Sang-woo and Sae-byok easily complete their shapes. Ali finishes quickly as well. Min-yeo, on the other hand, hides under a slide and uses a lighter to melt the sugar easily. Gi-hun and Il-nam struggle the most. Soon, the staff starts killing people who break their shapes. Sang-woo, Sae-byok, and Ali complete theirs in no time. Nobody notices Min-yeo cheating, and she succeeds as well. After passing, she throws the lighter towards Deoksu to help him, despite him insulting her earlier. She desperately wants to join his team for future games. Gi-hun realizes that if he licks the honeycomb, it will get thinner, making it easier to break into shapes. People around him follow his strategy, including Ilnam. At the last moment, he manages to extract the umbrella shape and passes the round. Ilnam does the same and succeeds too. However, those who failed are brutally killed. The overseer of the games watches everyone through a monitor. Junho is also in the field and is horrified to see the real truth of the game. A superior with a square on his mask asks him to do his duties of picking up the bodies and meet him later. One of the players who failed refuses to die and holds a staff member hostage. He forces the man to remove his mask and sees that the guy is a young man. Filled with guilt, the player shoots himself and dies. The overseer approaches the exposed staff member and shoots him dead, claiming that no one's face should be seen. Junho cleans the dead bodies and finds the dead staff member's mask, who happens to be the superior who called him earlier. He exchanges his mask with the staff members to disguise himself as a high-ranking staff member. After the game, the players are brought back to their room. However, the staff takes player number 111 with them. It is revealed that some of the staff are secretly harvesting the players' organs to sell them. Number 111 is a surgeon who is helping them. In return, they tell him what each game will be so he can pass them all and they can continue their secret mission. Meanwhile, Deoksu takes Minyo into his team for helping him earlier. Out of 187 players who participated, 79 were killed. The following morning, they are given breakfast of an egg and a cold drink. Deoksu complains about it not being enough. He and his team get in line twice to get more food. Because of this, a few people at the end do not get any. A woman reveals that she saw the group take food twice. This enrages a man who didn't get any food. He yells at Deoksu to give him his share back and tries to snatch the cold drink from him. An angered Deoksu hits him, and the two get into a fight. Deoksu beats the man repeatedly until he lies limp on the ground. When everything goes silent, Sangwoo checks on the man only to find him dead. Gi-hun asks the staff to do something and even looks at the surveillance camera to appeal to the overseer. However, the staff do not intervene and announce that player number 271 is eliminated. Everyone realizes that killing each other is fair in the game. This gives Deoksu's group an idea. They can kill everyone and win the money for themselves. Some staff members arrive with a coffin and take the dead body away. Meanwhile, the doctor is still harvesting the organs. After he is done, the staff tell him to stick with the strongest team. They reveal that the management deliberately provided less food for breakfast to incite the players to go wild and do anything they can for the money, even kill each other. Finally, they tell him about the next game and make him leave. Back in the hall, everyone is scared for their lives. Gi-hun and his team decide to stay awake all night to stay safe. Seeing Sebyok alone, Gi-hun invites her to their group, but she doesn't trust them. When the doctor returns to the hall, he looks around for the strongest team. Taking the staff's advice, he approaches Deoksu's team and asks them to take him in. Deoksu mocks him at first, but accepts once he secretly tells him what game will be played the following day. The staff are put on high alert for the special game, referring to the fight that will occur when the lights go out. As soon as the lights are off, Deoksu's team gets up and starts attacking people. Deoksu makes the first kill, and the screams wake everyone up. The overseer watches everyone through the surveillance camera's night vision. He orders one staff member to flicker the lights in the room so the killings are seen clearer. Soon, the bunk beds start falling, and the place turns into a bloodbath. Deoksu attacks Sebyok and is about to strangle her to death, but she is saved when another guy attacks him. Gi-hun's group meets amidst the chaos, but the old man Il-nam is nowhere to be seen. Sebyok joins Gi-hun's team for her safety, but the group is attacked by Deoksu's group again. As they fight, they hear Il-nam asking everyone to stop from the highest bed. The overseer sees this and turns the lights on. The staff walk into the place covered in blood and dead bodies. They scan the dead bodies, and an announcement is made saying that 27 of them have been eliminated. The dead bodies are taken out and burned in the furnace. After everything calms down, Gi-hun and the group gather and introduce themselves to each other, as they have been calling each other by numbers till now. Il-nam seems shaken up by the incident and forgets his own name. Gi-hun assures him he will be fine once he rests. Meanwhile, the doctor dresses Deok-su's injuries. The group is happy to have killed so many people and decide to kill more until they are the only ones left, so they can take the prize money. Minyo sees that Deok-su is favoring the doctor more than her. To be closer to him, she seductively invites him to the washroom, where the two have intercourse inside a stall. The following morning, everyone is woken up and told that the third game will start momentarily. After a while, they are taken to an empty white room where they are told to form groups of 10 people each. Gi-hun's team already has 5 members, so they decide to find one person each. Deok-su, who already knows what the game is, asks his men to gather some more well-built men. Minyo is speechless when he tells her she cannot be in the team. She begs him to let her in, only to be pushed to the ground. Meanwhile, Sebyok approaches a girl who is sitting alone in a corner. She agrees to be in their team. The others bring one person each except for Il-nam, so the group only has 9 members. Minyo, who had been kicked out of Deok-su's group, joins them at the last moment. They are then brought to a massive hall that has a tall bridge in the front. The third game turns out to be tug of war. The players are supposed to pull a rope to their side, and the ones who lose will fall off the tall bridge and die. Gi-hun's team has 2 girls and an old man, so their chance of winning is low. Deok-su had already gathered the strongest men from the crowd. His group faced off against another team. The onlookers watched nervously as the first match began. Deok-su's team won almost instantly, and the opposing group clung to the rope before eventually falling to the ground below. Finally, the staff came to take their bodies away. Next up was Gi-hun's team. They stood up nervously, aware of the high stakes. Their opponents were all strong-looking men. However, Il-nam assured them that he had been the best at tug-of-war as a kid. He shared some basic techniques with them. First, the person at the front should be strong and able to communicate by tilting his head. The last person should be the strongest. Second, one player should be on each side of the rope to maximize the pull. Third, all their feet should face forward, and they should grip the rope with their armpits as well. Lastly, and most importantly, they should hold their ground for the first 10 seconds to break the opponent's rhythm. Using these techniques, Gi-hun's team was close to winning, but their opponents pulled harder at the last moment. They were almost at the edge when Sang-woo came up with a last-minute plan. He told everyone to loosen their grip for a few seconds to throw the opponents off balance. The episode ends as they let go of the rope on the count of 3. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel. Thank you for watching.